This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we review the full-on Boba Fett badassery on the latest episode of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and break down all the amazing Star Wars and MCU announcements from this year's Disney Investor Day presentation. And man, it's geektastic.
Geek boner.
All that and more in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, December 10th, 2020.
You know who this is, and you know why you're here. You want all the latest comic book and superhero TV and movie news, and by God, you found it. Forget everything else out there. Forget all the Scientology bullshit. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. Worship at the feet of the holy trio of geekdom, the Jock and Nerd podcast. Play it.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
Oh yeah, what's up, listener? How's it going? Thanks for pressing play and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news reviews and whatever we choose.
Jock and Nerd.
My name is Imran.
My name is Anthony, the human soundboard.
He's the human soundboard jock.
And this guy is the guy that does everything else.
I press the buttons.
Oh, shit.
Also joining us is a dude who plays the role of a storm pooper. Not a stormtrooper, a storm pooper. It's Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
Storm. I have nothing for storm.
You got nothing for storm pooper? I got you.
I mean, at least I shit in my helmet.
I guess.
I mean, you are the guy making the fart noise every time we're doing news from the nation.
That's not a noise. That's my ass.
He's actually flatulent.
Well, I mean, it technically is a noise.
Yeah.
He is gassy for real. But I guess, do stormtroopers shit in their helmet? I don't know. I've never seen one actually take a dump. Maybe we'll find out.
Stormtroopers are like some of the worst stock no-name villains in the world.
Faceless, just massive bad guys to just throw as cannon fodder.
I used to think they were awesome when I was a kid, though.
They
For real.
look cool, and then you just see them in every episode of Mandalorian just get plowed.
Oh, hold on. We'll get into it, especially this one. Let's just get to it, guys. It's time for our Mando review.
Come on, baby. Do the magic hand thing.
All right, we're up to Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 6, Chapter 14.
Wait, I want to clue in the listener real quick.
Yeah.
This might seem unusual. We usually save these for later unless we have another bigger thing to review.
Oh, yeah.
And usually we put the news up front, but we don't have another show to review later or a movie, but if you clicked on the title, you already know.
Well, they would have heard the intro that I told them what we're doing. So
yeah, but it's huge, and that's why we're saving it.
More importantly, to clue in the viewer, I literally reorganized all the fucking show notes in the last 30 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Because
today was a wild day.
Because of Disney Investor Day, threw my whole shit off. So we're going to review Chapter 14 of The Mandalorian, episode titled The Tragedy first, and then we will break down
which by the way,
stuff. Yes.
Was an episode at the time when it came out that I think was breaking everything as well. So,
oh yeah, what do you mean? Just like news?
Just the reveal of what was in in this for all you fucking Star Wars fans.
It's your spoiler alert.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Holy shit! This episode written by Jon Favreau and directed by Robert Rodriguez, a director I love, a man who knows his action. You guys, are you a fan of Rodriguez movies? He's done some great ones.
Yeah, I like Robert Rodriguez. I like Desperado. I like
El Mariachi.
I like, what else did he do?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
He did Machete.
Geek boner. Come on.
He does like the same movie every time.
Yeah, but it's always fucking badass action in there.
Except the Spy Kids movies. Yeah. That's a little weird.
Yeah, then he like goes and does kids stuff for his kids and does like the whole Spy Kids series. But then there's Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Sin City.
Sin City. And recently Alita Battle Angel, which was actually that
was pretty decent.
Kind of a decent movie. Absolutely. I enjoyed it. Anthony, The Tragedy, Chapter 14. Holy shit. Give us the plot of this one. It's all plot, finally.
Well, it's a short episode.
The shortest.
Easy to watch.
Yeah.
And this is the one where Mandalorian's got to take Grogu over to the Jedi temple for him to do his thing, so hopefully Jedis can hear him or sense him. And in the midst of doing that, he was tracked by Moff Gideon and a bunch of stormtroopers who are cannon fodder. They're tracking him. And another guy's tracking him with the cavalry from S.H.I.E.L.D. What's her name?
Ming-Na Wen. Fennec Shan.
Fennec Shan, who was in Mandalorian Season 1.
Yep.
And the person that's also tracking Mandalorian is Boba Fett.
Holy shit.
Played by Tamira Morrison, is that his name?
Yep.
And I guess Boba Fett isn't really a Mandalorian, but his dad was. Maybe Rug Boy can explain that later. Because Boba Fett, I guess, is a man of honor, he works with the Mandalorian to protect Grogu and finally gets his armor back because Mandalorian has it, and he's fat in his armor.
He's old man Fat Boba. Yeah.
He's kind of fat.
Call me Fat
And
Boba.
they try to hold off everyone, but Grogu gets captured. And by the end of this, Mandalorian's like, "Fuck, we're SOL," and Boba Fett's like, "Nope, we're gonna help you." And they're off to help get Grogu back from Moff Gideon.
They're going to assemble a team.
Dude.
And it sounds like there's probably going to be, in a not so, it's not really a secret. I think there's going to be probably a Jedi and some more people that join them.
Dude, in 32 minutes, the shortest episode yet, he fucking loses the Razor Crest, loses Grogu, is at the lowest Mando has ever been. And then the promise of the Avengers of Star Wars. That's going to happen. This episode had everything, Ruggs. This was like the greatest hits.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, you had some epic Boba Fett beating the shit out of somebody with that stick.
Yeah, he's using the Tusken Raider tools.
I heard that this is the first time we've actually seen Boba Fett in action.
He's never done anything but die.
This is the coolest he's ever been, ever. Yes,
because I Googled it right after, and then I went to myself. I went, so why is Boba Fett so cool if no one's ever seen this guy do anything?
It was always a mystery of how, because you could never see his face.
It's just the suit.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
And he was a badass, but
it's the suit, and then you get him in the suit, and they do the wide shot. You go,
he can barely squeeze into the thing. Poor fucking Boba.
Not saying it's not cool. I'm just going, wait, what? This guy's a fat ass in a suit.
Fat Boba still badass. Like, I loved him in the cloak and the cape. Like, he's using Sand People weapons, that rifle and that stick, and then just the way. Let's talk about the stormtroopers. What does this armor do? What is the point of their fucking armor? Because one shot takes him down, and then he is just destroying. Armor's flying in pieces. These guys are flying in the air. Oh, he was so brutal and badass. I cheered like twice during this episode. I threw my hands up. I was like, fuck yeah.
Two questions for Rug Boy.
Yeah.
One, what's the deal with Boba Fett is a Mandalorian? Two, were you just as happy coming out of this episode as you seem to have been with the previous episodes?
I actually enjoyed this episode a lot. I think it was.
I'm still flabbergasted that this is coming out of your mouth.
All right, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the best television I've ever seen, but it served its purpose. Like, you know, it number one, it got rid of the side quest thing.
Yep.
So we're in uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it's all story, all plot going forward. It's amazing.
The thing is that Mandalorian is like a character that always has someone come in and like help him out, like whenever he needs it. Like
he's getting overshadowed a little bit.
Like he's always got someone coming in and fucking rescuing his balls, like every episode.
It's like Disney Spider-Man.
But I mean, I'd take that over him being a Mary Sue any day.
Yeah,
right.
Like him just being unbeatable all the time. Like so. It kind of humanizes him that he sucks a little bit sometimes.
He has his moments, but in this one, really, it was
like,
all...
It really is a balance. Think about this. Like, yes, not Boba Fett. The Mandalorian fucks up every once in a while. Like, at least, often, at least every other episode, he fucks up big time. But then he always has a moment where he's badass, too.
Yep.
So it's a balance. He's not always badass, and he's not always
This episode, though, he just lost everything. He didn't really get a lot of action because Fennec and Boba were so good at taking down
they got
all
their
the
moment.
stormtroopers.
What's the deal with Boba? So I'm sure I'm like the only guy listening that doesn't understand.
Okay, so basically what happened was in other things that are now considered not canon, it was said that Boba Fett and Jango Fett were both not Mandalorian, right? But this retcons it and basically says that Jango Fett, Boba Fett's father, who was the prototype for all the clones, all the clones, like all of the clones in the clone army, that are in that. I don't know if they're at this point. All the stormtroopers are clones of him.
Yeah.
Or maybe before that, I don't know. There's a certain point in time where they were all clones of Jango Fett, and then they became integrated. They started like recruiting other people to be stormtroopers as well. But anyway, long story short, they retconned it, and they said, no, his father, Jango Fett, was a foundling,
just like Mando.
Just like Mando.
Yeah.
So he wasn't.
So they found him.
Well, basically that he's not Mandalorian by birth, but he's raised in the Mandalorian way. So just like Din Djarin or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yep, was found by them.
He was raised in a Mandalorian sect, so he is Mandalorian.
And then so that means Boba Fett, just by, I guess, association, is also somewhat Mandalorian, or is entitled to that armor.
Yeah, he's entitled to the armor. He's not Mandalorian.
Okay.
Oh,
but
he can get the armor.
I would think that Jango probably, if he was a foundling and he still understood the way of the Mandalorian, some of it might have gotten into Boba Fett.
It seems like it did, because like the Mandalorians are very about like honor and stuff, and it seems like Boba Fett is doing all of this stuff because he gives his word, right? Like he's helping Mando.
Right.
It's like an honor system.
Well, yeah, now him and Fennec are in his service, in his debt, as part of the team. But, dude...
Wait, and one more question.
Yeah.
Is this the first time we've seen Boba Fett do good guy things? Wasn't he a bad guy?
He's a bounty hunter. He's a merc.
Hunter.
So he basically, whoever pays him, he does stuff.
But we've only seen him do the bad stuff.
He was trying,
right?
yeah, he was trying to kill Han Solo and all of them in the first 3 movies. He was like, there was a bounty on Han Solo's head.
Right.
By Jabba the Hutt. So everybody was after Han Solo, and Han Solo knocks him into the Sarlacc pit. What we don't know is how he got out of the Sarlacc pit and survived.
Why is he not about the money now?
Well, I mean, the Mandalorian himself was about the money at the beginning.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
They're both the same thing. They're both, according to whose side you're on, he's the bad guy or the good guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're paying him, he's great. If he's the guy who's killing you or capturing you, then he's not so great.
My question was, why didn't Boba just take the armor from the Marshal who had it this whole time? He obviously
That's a
knew
great question, and they better answer it.
I feel like maybe it's because he saw the Marshal actually doing good and protecting the people at that point, and he needed it. But then, what the fuck? Just take it. You wait till now until the guy steals it?
It's because it's Timothy Olyphant.
It's Timothy Olyphant. You can't take shit from Timothy Olyphant. No, dude, I appreciated so many things in this episode. The pacing, like, I thought it would take at least another 6 more side quests for them to get to the fucking Seeing Stone Jedi Temple, right? No, they're there right away, puts him on the stone, and he's in the fucking Force jizz stream. My question is, did Grogu contact anybody?
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's like he started up the internet in like 1993. He's just waiting for...
He's just waiting for someone to come
the
get him.
message didn't get out. Maybe he's still waiting to connect and get the handshake.
That would be my next question. Actually, it's for sure that someone's going to come. Who is the Jedi that's going to come and help him?
I don't know. It could. He may have
Who's going to
contacted.
join their team?
They need a Jedi. Is it? Ahsoka is a Jedi.
No,
Well,
I don't think that.
we named every Jedi last
It's
week.
either going to be Ezra or Luke. It could be. I don't know.
It's either Ezra, Luke, the guy from Fallen Order,
Cal Kestis.
or the woman from Fallen Order.
Right.
It could be Yaddle.
It could be Mace Windu, though.
It could be Mace Windu.
Holy shit! It could be anybody. If he even made contact with anyone, which we don't know. I also love how badass Boba was, and he fucking... So the 2 times I cheered, one was when he shows up in his armor, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Geek boner.
And then the second time I cheered, Ruggs, you'll appreciate this, fucking Fennec Shan's, so Robert Rodriguez, turn around, fire shot with the fucking sun behind her in silhouette.
That's the Desperado
Gorgeous.
shot.
Oh, my God, it's so good. I love...
In every movie, he does that.
And Rodriguez had tons of badass shots, people backlit by the sun. That scene where he takes down 2 ships with 1 rocket, and then you know you're badass when you turn. You don't even wait for the explosion. He just turned, and the thing explodes behind him.
Oh,
I was like, God damn, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, that's some like 1990 shit.
I love that shit. And we saw the Dark Troopers who snatched Grogu, and they appear to be all robots.
They're so menacing, and then they land and they walk like geriatrics.
Yeah, they look kind of clunky, but but is this what he's trying to make Force sensitive? These robots, or is it something else? Like I'm confused.
I don't know. I can't really put my finger on what he's doing. It's a possibility, that they're going to do something with with the robots, or the cyborgs, what these things are, these dark troopers.
They look like they're all robots.
I think there's another person.
Oh, and
They said the host.
There's
the
something
host,
else.
not the hosts.
Oh, prepare the host. He says, you prepare the host. We have a donor.
Yeah.
And now Fennec Shan has fucking robotic parts in her side, thanks to Boba. She's part robot. That was kind of interesting.
You know what I liked? The scene at the end where Grogu's in the
Yes.
he's in the jail and he's like force choking everyone.
Is that the first time he's been violent towards someone that we've seen? Right?
That's the first
fucking
time
up
we've seen him.
stormtroopers.
We've seen him be like that.
Yes.
That violent. But
Holy shit!
what was cool? What was interesting is like he was doing that, which like is a new side to him. But then like he got tired. Like he can only do it for so long.
Same thing. Yeah. Every time he uses the Force, and then he has to take a little nap. And fucking Gideon's there, and he's waving the dark saber around. He's like, hey, you seen this? So you just poke your eye out, which is like a nod back to the initial Star Wars movie where Luke right into the barrel of a lightsaber when he didn't know what it was. That would have been hilarious. But, so Mando goes back to Navarro. Cara Dune is now working for the Republic, apparently. Is that what you guys got?
She's
what I
a
got.
ranger.
She's a ranger, and he needs to find Bill Burr.
I wasn't expecting to be like the guy I need to find.
I can't wait.
Bill Burr.
I need to find Bill Burr. Only Bill Burr knows where the Empire ship is. But imagine this team. Can he get Bo-Katan, Ahsoka Tano?
What's Bill Burr's character again? What is he? He's a criminal.
He's a criminal.
He's like a sharpshooter.
Okay.
Yeah, Miggs Mainfield or something. But if he gets all these people, he has Boba Fett, Fennec Shan, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka Tano, Bill Burr, everyone who's helped him
Bill Burr.
combine in this amazing team to go and get Baby Yoda back. Holy shit, that's going to be, is that what's going to happen?
Are we going to see Admiral Thrawn?
Maybe. We'll see Grand Admiral Thrawn. Will we see a Jedi answer the call? I was shocking to see Grogu stunned and shackled. I did not like that.
But Anthony, like, don't you think that it's fun that after an episode, all of these things, they're like, oh, what's going to happen next? Like, isn't that?
Oh yeah, no, I thought this was cool. I was like, wow, this is interesting. I'm enjoying where this is going to go. I'm enjoying just the plot itself and where it's leading to. I have enthusiasm for the fact that everyone seems to be really enthusiastic now about what's going on. So yeah, I don't have nothing bad to say about the episode. The only bad thing was I was like, man, he's fat.
Fat Boba.
Hey, listen, he's
fat.
He's in better shape than a lot of us. So Anthony, we don't have the luxury of having 6-pack abs.
They could have just like not shown that he was fat.
I like that he's fat because it's dad bod. He's making dad bod sexy again. Listener, before we continue, let us know what you thought. You can join the conversation. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. Link in the show notes. It is a closed, exclusive group just for you, just for us. Welcome to the group this week, Kevin Cole, Nathan Adamski, and Daniel Gaines. Jock and Nerd. Thanks for joining. Gains. Thanks for the gains. I got mass gains.
Get in the gym and making gains.
Mass gains. So a couple of other Easter eggs I thought were fun. He says Dank Farrik again. I love every time he said Grogu and Baby Yoda looks up at him and he gets a fucking laugh out of it. It's so adorable. I love how the Jedi temple is kind of like a Stonehenge, like a henge circle of stones, ancient Stonehenge format.
I have a prediction.
What?
So, you know how the fucking Razor Crest is gone?
Yes. Slave One? Does he get Slave One?
I think that maybe Boba Fett is going to...
Wait, who? What the fuck is Boba Fett?
Because he's fat. He's Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah. You call him...
I thought that was a real character.
I thought that was another Fett. A Fett-related Fett.
Yeah. So Boba Fett, maybe he'll die in this mission, and then the Mando will get the fucking Slave One, and he'll inherit.
Dude, that ship, Anthony, is iconic, and I didn't recognize it initially. I was like, I know that ship, and it's the fucking Slave One.
When I saw
One.
that shit, I was like, oh my, Slave One! It still works.
Oh yeah, it's Boba Fett's ship from the original movie, and I remember the toy of that. It was really big
because it lays down.
Yeah, and then it flies vertically. It's weird.
It flies it's weird.
It flies upright, but then lands like
it doesn't make any sense.
No,
but whatever.
It's horizontal, flies vertical. What the fuck? So they have a bunch of Star Wars ships like the B-Wings. I never understood. They just fly like straight across instead of like how you think they would fly.
Yeah, it's really weird.
We mentioned Jango Fett as a foundling, just like Mando. Boba Fett's knee missiles. That's another fucking geek boner.
Yeah, the knee missiles. I didn't even know he had those.
Apparently that's like in canon too, or it's been in other
Very
stories.
Iron Man-y sounds, too.
Yes, yeah. And then this line where he goes, I'm a simple man making my way across the galaxy like my father before me. That line references 2 movies. The first part, I'm a simple man making my way across the galaxy, was Jango Fett's line in Attack of the Clones, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then like my father before me is what Luke Skywalker says in Jedi. He says, I'm a Jedi like my father before me. And then the boulder thing reminded me of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Geek boner. Another cool little reference.
There's a lot of like interesting touches. I gotta watch this episode again.
I've watched this episode like 4 times. It was so badass.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I love
It's only a half hour.
Yeah, it's so short and it's all fucking action and shocking things. And I love watching that. I love watching them take down the stormtroopers again.
You know what? One thing that really annoyed me was the jetpack thing.
What do you mean?
Like,
He took off the jetpack.
He took off the jetpack.
Yeah.
And they never like show him get it back. And
Whatever,
so,
he put it on off screen. Who cares? He just put it on.
Does he have it?
At the end,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he has it again.
he'll get it back. It's his
You saw
jetpack.
it 4 times. You should know.
I don't
right?
remember.
Exactly.
There was no need for him to fly at the end because he couldn't get to Baby Yoda in the Force stream.
I'm like, did he lose the jetpack? That would suck.
Well, he lost everything else.
I'm like, can't he just call it back with the fucking...
Yeah, he can.
All right.
All he has left is that Beskar spear and the ball, the metal ball.
If this is what if Boba Fett dies saving Baby Yoda, he's going to take Boba Fett's armor, melt it down with the spear, and make Baby Yoda armor.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's do that. You think Boba Fett's going to die now?
Yeah.
They just brought him back and made him badass. They would just kill him now after. Oh man,
Listen,
nothing's off the table.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, like, I'm psyched about what Disney's doing for the first time in a long time. So I'm going to try and enjoy it. I mean, we're in COVID. Everything sucks. It's nice to have something that doesn't like suck on ice. And so,
It's just I can't go to the internet on Friday mornings until I've watched this show. That's the only problem.
I gotta wake up at the crack of dawn and
I
watch
can't.
it.
It's totally, dude. It's spoiled right away because it's like out at midnight or whatever. It's very annoying. All right, Anthony. Final thoughts on this episode? Give it a rating.
I'm going to go 8.5.
Oh shit! Oh,
and the reason I am is because we finally got to see this hyped character that even I know about, Boba Fett. And other than him being a little chub, it was pretty interesting, and I like the direction of them forming some sort of team or alliance to go get Grogu. And I like the fact, again, that Grogu has more depth than just a little baby that wiggles his ears and eats random things.
There's some dark side in him there. I feel like there's going to be some more darkness awakened. 8.5, good. Ruggs, what would you give it?
Well, it's nice that we got a little bit more. We could finally see Boba Fett in action. Everybody liked him because of his costume, not unlike Gwenpool. I'm just making a reference to Heather Antos. But anyway, it was a fun episode. I got to finally see fucking Boba Fett kick some ass and lots of fucking big stakes. And they threw away that whole side quest thing. So I'm fucking all about this episode. I'm going to give it an 8.5 as well.
I fucking loved it.
I'm gonna give it like a 9, maybe even 9.5. My jaw was dropping several times at seeing Boba be badass, at seeing the Razor Crest destroyed, at seeing them get Baby Yoda. Fuck, amazing stuff they did, and hopefully they can keep this up now. Just 2 more episodes after this. So I'm gonna give it 9.5. Fuck it, it's getting better and better.
You watched it 4 times.
I mean, you had to like it. It's so good. It's so good. I cannot wait to see how this thing fucking finishes out. And then I'm going to be sad because I know when the next season is coming up, which we will discuss in the next segment. But first, listener, if you're holiday shopping, consider using our Amazon affiliate link. All you got to do is go to our website. There's a banner, or just type in jockandnerd.com/Amazon. It takes you to regular Amazon. It costs you nothing, but we get a couple of points. Get a couple of points off the back end there. And it helps us out, and you could do all your holiday shopping. And you can visit our shop, jockandnerd.com/shop. It's our TeePublic merch shop. There is a sale this week, December 16th through 18th. Everything's up to 35% off. You get some cheap T-shirts and masks with the Jock and Nerd logo on them. Put them on. Put us on your face and chest. Okay, we are going to come back with some amazing geektastic news from Disney Investor Day 2020 right after this. Stay tuned.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
That is by far my favorite because it's also character driven and the stakes are high and there's much more of a mystery and intrigue to it.
A game like Wolfenstein, which people are saying are one of the most socially important video games of the past 10 years.
Catch our shows on radio worldwide 7 days a week or at any time on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on over 30 more podcast outlets.
I'm Imran.
And I'm Sophia.
I'm the brother.
And I'm the sister. And we are watching a show about cousins.
We're your hosts for Dance of Joy, a Perfect Strangers rewatch podcast.
We grew up watching the 80s hit sitcom, and now we'd like you to join us every week as we rediscover our love for our favorite TV cousins, Balky and Larry.
You can find our show at danceofjoypod.com and on all major podcast platforms. Now we are so happy, Sophia. We do the Dance of Joy.
Imran, this is a podcast. They can't see us.
Oh, po.
Doc and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, you want to support the show, join our fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jock and Nerd. And you can support the show on a monthly or annual basis. And for as little as $3 a month, you get access to a bonus exclusive RSS feed with bonus content, bonus audio. The shows come out early just for our Patreon subscribers. And you help ensure the show keeps going.
I want to thank John Bellotti Jr. for his upped donation of $75 per month. Thank you, John Bellotti Jr.
What? Really? Did he do that?
No.
Damn
I was
it,
trying to guilt him into doing it.
Oh my god! I'm like, first of all, he doesn't seem like he would ever do that.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too.
There's Bellotti.
Maybe that'll work.
Listen, Bellotti's payment is that he's the admin of our Facebook group. That's all I need you to do, Bellotti, because I don't fucking want to do that, and you're way better at it.
Right.
Yeah, he cares.
If could do something else.
But if you want to hear my instant reactions to new Mando episodes before we review them on the show, sign up for that. Episode 6 went up usually on the Friday because I need to watch it before I get on the internet that day because it gets spoiled. Oh, shit. So that's been a lot of fun. 2 more episodes left. Can't wait. jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Visit it today. Jock and Nerd. Okay, earlier today, listener, Disney held their 2020 Investor Day presentation. Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
Something that I would think would be something that only investors get to watch, but no, everybody can watch it. I watched the whole thing. It was amazing.
So I have some thoughts on why they did that.
Okay, why? Because do you think this was, and I'll tell you, they didn't show everything on the stream, and I'll explain, but they showed a lot of things.
First off, I think they're trying to jump the first Disney Plus, despite the fact that nothing has come out. I think they have like 86 million subscribers.
Yes,
so
they announced 86 million
about that.
subscribers.
They want to create some buzz around the industry for like what's coming up, right? To keep people interested in subscribing to Disney Plus mostly, and just in Disney in general. Also, I think maybe not, but I think they might have felt a little threatened by what HBO Max announced last week.
Yes.
So they were like, let's just fucking blow the doors off this thing.
It definitely was. The ball was in their court, and they can't hold their like D23 events, or you can't do San Diego. There's nowhere to announce this, so they're probably like, "Fuck it." It was a really nice presentation. You had Bob Chapek, Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, Kevin Feige, all the heads of peoples, and nice presentation and clips and announcing all of the new shit and some interesting stats. So we will break down here. We're going to start with the Star Wars segment and then MCU news. And then I'll cover some other numbers and content stuff.
There was more, but we're going to pick and choose the stuff that
so much.
interests our base and us.
Oh my God, there was things that
because I think they even announced like Will Smith was doing Nat Geo
they announced
stuff, right?
over 100 titles. Yes, Will Smith and Chris Hemsworth are doing the series with Darren Aronofsky for National Geographic. It looks cool. Yes, it's weird. I know, and it looks really cool. Like I kind of want to watch it. But in the very beginning, they announced over the next few years, there's going to be roughly 10 Marvel series, 10 Star Wars series, 15 Disney live action movies, and Pixar series, plus 15 all new Disney live action features just for Disney Plus. Oh shit!
This is in the next 3 years.
In the next few years, and basically 80% of the 100+ things they announced today are going for Disney Plus.
Wow.
This is their big push, obviously.
One comment that just came to mind as I've been watching Mandalorian and now with these announcements is I've changed my mind on the fact that I hope they actually release the episodes weekly.
Oh, instead of all at once?
Because I think it's by doing it weekly, I think the buzz lasts longer, which was the intent.
Yeah.
And I remember the shows. Actually, now that I'm getting used to watching something weekly, I tend to remember the experiences
Isn't
more
that weird?
than if I just binge
because
everything.
it's too much at once, and it all kind of gets
and then
cloudy.
you don't know when people binge, so everyone's binging at different times, and then once you binge it, like unless someone brings it up, it's over.
And it's harder to have it's harder to have specific conversations about things that happened in the show because so much fucking happened and you watched it all.
Water cooler talk.
Yeah,
weekly.
So I don't think they're changing their strategy. I think they're happy with the weekly release. They just need to string things on. In fact, at the end, Bob Iger did say, "Don't worry, things are coming quicker. We have 100+ titles for next year that we're going to put out."
I mean, it's insane the amount of stuff they announced.
Okay, let's start. Kathleen Kennedy comes out. They did a whole, but they did the numbers and they did other segments. But the Star Wars segment, Kathleen Kennedy comes out. She starts with
Lucasfilm segment.
Lucasfilm, yes,
right?
Lucasfilm,
because Indiana Jones was announced, and I saw some people going, Indiana Jones is going to be crossing over
with Star Wars. No, it's under Lucasfilm. So this is the Lucasfilm.
No, George Lucas made Willow and all those
Indiana
other
Jones.
movies.
So it all falls under.
It's all under the same banner.
Wow. Okay, we'll get
Matt
that.
Madigan. Falls under Kathleen Kennedy. She started with The Mandalorian. They showed a clip of Mando season 2, and they're like, "We're in Mando season 2." In the Mandalorian timeline, 2 new shows. One called Rangers of the New Republic, possibly featuring Cara Dune. Now that she's a ranger, I don't know. And
who's Cara
Dune? Gina Carano. Cara Dune.
Oh, right.
And then the other show, Ahsoka. Geek Boner. TV show Ahsoka Tano set in the timeline of The Mandalorian. The next season of Mandalorian is not going to come out until Christmas of 2021. You have to wait a year.
I think I might have said it last week. You don't hire what's her face to
Rosario
do Ahsoka
Dawson for one episode cameo.
For one episode, yeah. You had to know that they were going to spin that.
And
right
I
away.
wonder if this was in the works when they first cast her before the first season was even shot. But they're doing it. And I like that it's set in the Mando timeline. So it'll be after.
Well, if it's in trouble, the Mando can always
he can pop in. Yeah,
boost it up again.
They are building, that thing they shoot in, the volume, which is the screen above and below. That's amazing. And they showed clips of how that whole forest scene in the Ahsoka episode, that was all projected. It was amazing. You can't tell. They're building 3 more volumes, is what it's called, across the world in 3 different locations to shoot more shit. They're really investing. It's called StarCraft. It's the name of the company. And they're probably going to rent it to other studios to fucking use it.
So Rangers of the New Republic would be like Cara Dune?
Cara Dune and the Asian fighter pilot. I don't know. Maybe.
Right. What do you guys think about
that? Is that interesting? I don't know.
I don't know yet. That's the least interesting. They needed to. I think that when you have something that's so vague, they should have added a little bit more depth to it and just kind of set it up a little bit, because you really can't talk about it. You have no idea what the fuck it's about. Like Andor, they talked about.
So some things they fleshed out, and some things they just mentioned. So they're just like Rangers of the New Republic. We don't know what the fuck it's about. Ahsoka, I'm definitely way more excited for. Obviously, since
it's Ahsoka Tano. So now you could say, okay, I've seen her in a bunch of shit. I've seen her in Mandalorian. I know what it's going to be. So
in 2022, Andor series is coming out. It is a spy thriller written by Tony Gilroy, who wrote Bourne Identity. Of course, starring Diego Luna as Cassian Andor from Rogue One. Stellan Skarsgård will be in this. They have just began production 2 weeks ago. There'll be 12 episodes, and there's a little behind-the-scenes featurette. It looked pretty good. It's a spy thriller. So,
well, I think Rogue One was probably their most successful side thing they did in this new era of Star Wars in terms of the movies.
The Mandalorian and Rogue One are like the best things. But we know what happens to Diego Luna's character. Of course, spoilers. If you haven't seen the Rogue One,
he dies.
Yeah. So that'll be before, obviously. The Obi-Wan Kenobi series is set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So 10 years after Anakin becomes Darth Vader, after the falling out between Obi and Anakin. Ewan McGregor is returning, obviously, and then, holy shit, Hayden Christensen returning as Darth Vader.
Yeah, like, how do you feel about that?
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm torn. Fuck.
Maybe he's become a better actor.
Maybe. That's been a lot of time to learn.
What? Let me ask you. So Hayden, he's going to be Darth Vader.
He's Anakin. He's Darth Vader.
Isn't Darth Vader most of that character behind the mask?
Yes.
And voiced by, like, what is he going to do?
Well,
they're going to take off the mask, and he's all fucked up.
Because there's the time. I mean, if you remember the original trilogy, sometimes he would get in his pod, and then he would take off his armor, and he would be so. There'll be opportunities for him to not have the helmet on and be all burnt and shit, I guess, because he was all burned up. He's all burned up and wrinkly. So why do they need him? And will he sound like James Earl Jones, or is he going to sound like Hayden Christensen? The fuck is this? Right?
What is this seems like a big series. What does Rug Boy think about Obi-Wan?
Well, I mean, Obi-Wan's a major character. It's interesting that Hayden Christensen's going to be Darth Vader, so that he's going to have to be substantially in the show, right? I mean, he's not just going to be in for like a cameo. They wouldn't announce him like that.
I think they should do the same thing they did to David Prowse, make him do all the lines, and then just dub it over. Oh, shit. And don't tell him.
Yeah, they could totally do that. I don't know. I mean, look, I saw him in a movie that it wasn't Star Wars called Jumper.
Yeah.
Which was an okay movie.
Yeah.
He was a little bit better than that. And he was also in a movie with Jessica Alba where that I seen, and he was okay in that. Nothing to write home about.
That's the thing. George Lucas is not really good with directing actors. So, given a proper director, who, in this case, Deborah Chow, is directing. She's done a couple of Mandalorian episodes. Really good director. Production begins March 2021, and there was a little featurette about this, too. Didn't really have a lot because they have not started production. Then she talked about this new Star Wars animated series that's building off Clone Wars. She mentioned season 7 that came out, finished it. It's called Bad Batch.
Yeah, we saw them in the last...
who are the Bad Batch? They're stormtroopers.
Well, Ahsoka Tano, I think, teams up with them to go and get Maul.
Oh, okay.
So they're featured in one of the segments of the last season.
So it's like a group of named stormtroopers, like you know who they are.
Yeah, they're defective.
Okay.
So they don't really. They didn't like all of the clones look like Jango Fett,
except for these guys. They're the Bad Batch.
These guys look like Jango Fett, but
like
one of them's really big.
Yeah,
and
all fucked up.
They're not like, they have different body types. One of them's really skinny.
Wow, that's interesting. They showed a preview. The CG animation looked dope. It looked like Clone Wars. And I kind of like you're focusing on stormtroopers. It's something I always wanted to know more about.
Yeah.
Some stormtroopers.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather see something else, but whatever. Let's do it.
How about this?
I mean, they weren't bad.
How about this? Something else. There's a series called Star Wars Visions. It is a Japanese animated short film anthology, 10-episode series, Star Wars through the lens of Japanese anime artists.
Well, they're trying to get another audience in there.
Well, they did the same thing with Batman and The Matrix, and those are really cool.
But Batman and The Matrix are like, I guess they appeal to anime because anime kind of goes in crazy ass directions.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see them kind of do this family friendly stuff. I mean, they do it with Pokemon and stuff.
The next thing Kathleen Kennedy announces, here's where there's some more vague shit they did, just like earlier. There's a Lando series.
Geek boner.
Being
How is that vague?
because that's all she said. Lando series created by the guy who did Dear White People for Netflix. He's running the show. And then this is where
is Childish Gambino
well,
gonna be
they
back?
didn't mention, but this is where I feel like they held back. They blacked out certain things for actual investors on the call, because there were times where she's like, for the Lando series, she was like, here's a clip of Lando, and there was no clip. They were like, the presentation returns in 1:20 and there's a countdown clock. So it may have just, some things were just for actual investors and not for the public, or they're waiting to release it later. Another vague thing, she's like, here's another TV series. It's called The Acolyte. Disney Plus TV series. It takes place during the final days of the High Republic era rugs from the creator of Russian Doll. Does that sound interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be like a Sith-centered story.
Who is
so
the
it's going to
Acolyte?
be.
I was like, what the fuck is this Acolyte? I don't know.
Because I feel like it's a Sith
High
story.
Republic era is the Sith story.
I think that the notion of Jedi and Sith weren't like as cemented during that time.
You know, she does mention, she's like, the Star Wars franchise spans 25,000 years, she said.
Oh, shit.
So this is, the High Republic is going to be early Star Wars. Okay, wait, there's a couple other shitty ones when we get to the big ones. Then there's something called a droid story, which features R2.
I don't care about
R2-D2 3PO on a special mission to introduce a new hero. I don't know what that is. Then she goes to Willow. The Willow series is set to decades after the 1989 movie. Warwick Davis returning, Anthony, your favorite little guy, John Chu, directing for Disney Plus 2022.
Is that guy, is Val Kilmer alive?
Val Kilmer,
he's
think,
alive,
is still
but he's
alive,
sick.
but he's not doing well.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't think he's
not doing well.
I don't think Mad Mardigan is going to be in the series, unfortunately.
That would be if. Hopefully
looks
he can
terrible.
recover.
Yeah.
Hopefully maybe he can recover and do this.
Then the thing you were talking about earlier, she goes, Indiana Jones 5 is happening.
Geek boner.
We got director James Mangold,
Good director.
who did Logan and that car movie. What was the car movie called? Ferrari. Ford versus Ferrari.
Ferrari, yeah.
Harrison Ford is returning. She said this will conclude Indiana Jones's adventures July 2022.
It's the last
The
one.
last
Is this
one.
for Disney Plus or
No, this
wide release?
is a movie.
Movie.
Now we're
But is
getting
it Disney Plus. I didn't hear you.
No, this is a movie, feature film. Yeah.
It definitely would be. That's money in the bank. They don't want to.
And then she goes, okay, Star Wars movies. Here's what we got coming. There's a new feature with Taika Waititi.
Geek boner.
He is writing it now. All they showed was a picture of Taika and this logo. It said Star Wars, but it was like this hand-drawn logo, like a Saturday morning cartoon of that the words were made out of stone, and it was really colorful, and it was kind of like a Monty
What's it
Python.
called?
It just said Star Wars. It didn't say what it was about.
Oh, I was trying to look on this graphic of where I could find it.
No, there was no name. It was like our next film, Taika Waititi. He's writing it now.
The Children
no name.
of Blood and Bone?
No,
What's that?
that's a different. That's a different thing. I don't know what that was. That's the Lucasfilm thing, not under any franchise. That's a book adaptation that they're doing under Lucasfilm.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Yes, it's confusing. And then the big news: Patty Jenkins is directing the next Star Wars movie. It's called Rogue Squadron, about fighter pilots, probably Top Gun-like, releasing Christmas 2023.
Yeah, the game is very popular, so it makes sense.
So she put out a little video of her rollerblading on an airfield, and she's like, I love two things, and I get to work with both of them. She's like, I like speed, I like flying, and I like Star Wars. And so I think she's going to make like the Top Gun Star Wars movie, is what it seems
That could be
like.
cool.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron. People were excited about that.
What I'm the most excited about as in this order is Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Right?
Ahsoka.
Obi-Wan.
With my balls was hot.
Obi-Wan, okay.
Alkalite and then Andor at the end. Those are those in that order.
Do you think any of these all these shows are going to make it? Or do you think some of my friends are like, they can't make all this. One of these is going to die and
not get made. You mean? I
mean,
I think they'll make one season.
It would be stupid if Obi-Wan dies.
Yeah.
Because you got people coming back from the movies and stuff like that. Alkalite and the Rangers, I think that, and then I think that those are disposable. Maybe Lando won't happen.
Like
I
a
don't
droid
know.
story. Maybe that's for kids.
What are your guys' overall thoughts of them? Like, So it sounds like they're just banking on the fact like the Mando goodwill is all of a sudden like reinvigorated the Star Wars franchise. What do you think about them announcing 1,000 shows?
I think it's great. They're staying in that period.
Well, what are these things related to? You got Mando adjacent, like Ahsoka and Rangers.
Yeah.
Then you got Andor, which is Rogue One adjacent,
which is also very good.
And then you got
Obi-Wan, which everybody loves.
You got Obi-Wan, that's obviously in canon after the Return of the Sith.
Yeah.
And then the one that no one really knows about, which is going to be like the hard one, is the Alkalite, because that takes place in a completely different timeline that we don't even know about.
No characters have been introduced in live action.
Is this Visions one going to be related?
That's the anime.
That's an anime anthology. So that could be anything. That could just be little one-off stories, you know?
Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
Did I say that wrong 10 times?
You got it wrong, right on the 10th.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that'd be a cool show, but I'm not really excited about it.
That's a movie.
Yeah, that's a movie, and it's
that's a movie, not a show.
No, Rogue Squadron is the next Star Wars movie.
That's the next Star Wars movie.
Yes.
Oh, it's a movie. I kept on thinking it was a series.
No,
Taika and Patty Jenkins are doing the next Star Wars movie, and obviously there's more further production on Patty's Rogue Squadron. But you would think I would be. I'm more excited for the TV shows than the movies at this point.
Do you guys think like Star Wars is back? Because like that and what was that the third one?
Yeah,
what was that called?
The
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker was hot.
It seemed like you stick a fork in Star Wars, it's done.
Yeah,
and now like Mando's hot again.
The whole
like,
trilogy is a mess.
You think they can ride the wave and keep it going?
I mean, I think that they have a few things. It's not all like guaranteed. There's maybe like 3 or 4 things that are actually going to prop this up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's anybody's game. It's a roll of the dice.
It's an interesting direction from her for sure. But they're mixing anime. They're mixing
like
live action.
The great thing about the Mando is it's kind of like a space western like Star Wars set out to be in the beginning.
Yes.
And it's easily digestible. It's not overly political. It's just kind of like there and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so as long as it continues in that fashion, I think they're going to be fine. So we don't really know what direction they're going to go in. But if they kind of stay true to what they're doing with Mando and they learn their lesson, I think that
it's interesting.
It'll be okay.
Overall,
Geek Boner.
I would say for the direction for Star Wars.
I think from my perspective is I think they always wanted to blow up Star Wars like Marvel.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And they were trying to do that with the movies, but they were trying to figure out these anthology movies plus like the Skywalker series stuff, and they were trying to figure out how to balance that, and they were going too fast and they fucked up. But they've always wanted to do this, and they finally have something on a roll with Mando, and they're like, we've always wanted to blow this thing up and blast it out like Marvel Universe, and now's our chance, so let's go for it. Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic, we have Disney Plus now, we can just throw all this shit on there. So I think this was always a plan. It's just they were they were trying to figure out the way to get it done and announce it, and now they feel like they have an opportunity.
It's definitely been accelerated. Yeah, as everybody's plans
they still have room to grow, right?
Yeah.
Netflix still has double the subscribers that they have.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're still trying to grow. Yeah.
So they still got a lot of room to grow. So they have something to shoot for, and I think that at this point in time, while they're growing, is when they're going to spend the most money to try and fucking get something going. And I really thought that when they first launched this app, they had nothing new on it. It was just all of their library. I'm like, there's nothing that's exclusive like Netflix has. And so to see this gives the app so much value, especially if you're a Star Wars fan and especially if you're a Marvel fan after you see the rest of the shit that they announced.
I mean, I think
fucking good for them.
Part of it was COVID too, but now they are ready to, I think they'll be able to cycle new content better with all these things they're announcing if the things get done in time.
Okay, so this is Star Wars. We're
done with Star Wars. Are you guys ready? Take a deep breath.
Geek Boner.
We're going to talk about the MCU updates. Kevin Feige came out, led the whole thing. It was very excited. Take it to ready. I was very excited to see him. I was like, oh, fuck, Kevin Feige. Let's go. He starts with WandaVision. That's, of course, coming out January 15th. He said a lot of interesting things. He said this is an expansion point for MCU storytelling, this show. And they dropped a new trailer.
Oh, shit. Geek Boner.
Trailer number 2 from WandaVision. You guys, did you watch it? What did you think?
I did.
I like this one in that it's explaining a little bit more.
He also said, though, that this connects to Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Which also, that movie is going to connect to Spider-Man. So
yes, and he said Elizabeth Olsen is shooting Doctor Strange 2 right now in London, and they've added America Chavez, the character, to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I forgot who the actor is playing. They showed her. But, yeah.
From what I've seen in WandaVision, I was actually pleasantly surprised that there was obviously they have this like alternate reality where they're in the TV and they're in like classic 50s TV and they go up through the ages, through the 60s, through the 70s.
Yeah, they do a better job of explaining that.
At a certain point, it snaps to MCU movie reality.
Yes, that was
interesting. Ties it in.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of on board for this. I'm connecting with this a little bit more.
You saw a little bit of action. You see the Mind Stone. There's fucking tanks and armies, and she's like, we gotta fix this. We gotta save ourselves. And it snaps out of this TV reality. But I do love how they show you every decade of the TV shows from Dick Van Dyke to the Brady Bunch to like the 90s. It looks like a lot of fun, but then some substantial shit at the end, Anthony. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. I think that first trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of this is interesting. It looks way different."
Yeah.
But I liked that. First off, that they're going for a different look, but also that, as Ruggs mentioned, they're tying it in. I liked that the setup of it being this alternate reality, but like there's this darker thing. Like it seems like she's surrounded by these characters and trying to make this reality like pleasant. But she's actually stuck in some sort of like really dark thing that she needs to be like saved or get these people out of it. And shit's really fucked up. So like there's this like lipstick of this being okay. And that's what they're using to recreate the old look of these shows.
But then it glitches and you see the truth.
Like, there's something fucked up happening. And there's now a lot more mystery rather than it being like a cutesy, like, oh, look at Marvel doing the Dick Van Dyke impression. It's actually like something more.
Yeah, not entirely a straight up comedy. And I loved seeing her fly. And hopefully by the end, her like more of her powers are unlocked and it ties into Doctor Strange and the other shows because everything's
there was enough
connect.
There where it's like you can see where it's going, but there's still questions. Like it was a good trailer to make you want to
definitely
let's figure this out.
They were smart to show you the actual reality and a little bit of story because that's what it needed, and they did it. Fuck, I'm down for that.
I was already like, whoa, fuck.
The next thing he went on to was Falcon and Winter Soldier, the show that was supposed to come out before. It is now coming in March, he mentioned. He said this is a Marvel movie over 6 episodes, and they released a trailer.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
They didn't show U.S. Agent in this trailer at all.
They didn't show you his U.S. Agent. You see a guy running in the field, the football scene where he's the guy. I think that's him. But... fuck, dude, what'd you think of this trailer? This thing looks dope also.
It looks like a movie.
It does.
It looks every bit of a Marvel movie and they said it's basically a Marvel movie in 6 episodes. So it's probably 6 half-hour
Dude, that fucking scene at the end of him flying through the cliffs and the helicopters are shooting missiles, that looks like a fucking movie.
Oh,
I mean, straight up Marvel movie.
I was surprised, but then I thought, like, we watch Mandalorian every week, and that looks like a movie. Like, this is the kind of level that I feel like Game of Thrones kind of started.
Yeah.
In that, like, you make these TV, you just throw, you make TV shows, you make it indistinguishable what you're watching.
And you should make them like movies. Why not? You have the money, the look, the chemistry between these two looks great. I can't wait to see these two work off each other, and you get a quick shot of Baron Zemo.
It gave off the air of, like you guys mentioned, a movie, like a credibility.
Big explosions, action, fighting.
Well, it's one thing to make it look theatrical, but to make it on the level of like a Marvel movie that is like they're spending millions and millions of dollars on.
Yeah,
it's good. it's good that they can pull that off.
March 19th, 2021 is the date. It has a date. Fuck, that was amazing. I can't wait for that. Then Feige mentions Black Widow really, really quickly. Basically,
he said coming out in theaters.
He said coming out in theaters May 7th, 2021. And then he moved on, and that was it. That was
is still a, I would say the spring, putting on my scientist hat.
Yeah.
Spring is still a coin flip. If that's actually a good release
John
date or not.
Campia's scoop was incorrect. I really thought they were gonna come out with a big thing saying it's coming out date on Disney Plus or something, but nope.
I think their strategy still at this point, other than like the Mulan and like some of the other properties that aren't Marvel, I think Marvel still wants to save their tentpole stuff, their movies for the movie theater. I think they still want to they want to delineate between Disney Plus and movie.
I was thinking about it again, and they can because they are making original movie quality shit for Disney Plus already, so they don't need to put the fucking thing out.
The only issue is if COVID's not under control by May, how late are you delaying all these movies?
Yeah, are you pushing it back? So also, another rumor I heard. This is why I thought they would say Black Widow's coming out earlier, because Florence Pugh. This may be
spoiler alert.
A little spoiler alert. Apparently, Florence Pugh is in Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and the Hawkeye show, which Hawkeye takes place like 5 years later, alluding to maybe she is now the Black Widow. But that's why they need to get Black Widow out to fucking establish Florence Pugh before these other things come out.
It could be a problem if they don't have everything sequentially out at the right time.
This could be an issue. Then he moved on to another Disney Plus show, Loki, coming out May 2021. This will be a crime thriller, and this also had a fucking trailer, and this trailer is wild. This I thought was the craziest, like wackiest thing, and it totally sucked me in. What did you guys think? I love how it starts with the scene from Endgame where he gets loose. And then he's just in the desert, and there's like Mongolian people staring at him for some reason.
I have no idea what the show is about. I just know that it looks interesting. I didn't know what to think about it, because crime thriller is...
It's a heist show throughout time.
Yeah, it's a crime thriller throughout time.
You see Owen Wilson, and he's wearing the jumpsuit that says TVA, which is the Time Variance Authority, similar to like Umbrella Academy, those people who control the time. But then the clips they showed are different locations, different time settings, different costumes, and it's wild. And then the fucking scene at the end, Anthony, where he jumps out of the plane with I think he may be DB Cooper in that one. He jumps out of the plane with a bag of money, and he's like, "I hope Heimdall's ready." Right into the fucking Bifrost, picks him up, and then you just see money floating. I was like, "Oh fuck, that's great! I love that." What do you make of this?
I thought it was also interesting. I was like, what is going on? What's happening? It's Tom Hiddleston back. You have Owen Wilson in this.
Owen Wilson,
I was going. This was another one. Maybe I'm just like creaming myself over Marvel, but I was just like, wow, this is another good thing I'm going to watch. Oh my God, this is amazing.
I'm waiting for the nerds to actually do like a breakdown of it, so I can watch it on YouTube and be like, okay, that's what they're doing.
But this looks completely different than WandaVision, than Falcon and Winter Soldier. I like how everything looks different.
It's one of those things where I wanted to watch a trailer more than once to kind of really
Dude, there's a
absorb
shot.
it.
There's a shot in here where a planet is exploding. There's another shot in here where the city is demolished. You see the Avengers Tower all broken and leaning over. Like, what the fuck is happening in this show? It's amazing. I can't wait. I loved it.
Next,
Kevin Feige. There's more. Kevin Feige moved on to What If, the animated series, coming out next summer. And there was a first look.
That looks like fun.
Yeah, the animation looks fun.
That also, I was like, that looks fucking great. Like, look at this. This is awesome. Look at all the stories they could possibly tell. T'Challa could have been a Guardian.
Yeah,
what's going on
T'Challa
here?
as Peter Quill, as Star-Lord, and all these, and like Peggy Carter as Captain America.
Zombie Cap.
I always loved the What If comic books. I used to buy them all the time. It's a lot of fun. It's Marvel's Elseworlds. And the animation looks
this
fucking
should have been
dope.
out already.
I know.
It's taking them so long.
That's why I was like, next summer?
It's
really?
animation.
You guys are sitting at home. You should have been drawing this shit. It should have been done. What is taking so long?
Well, you don't need people to do this.
You don't have to worry about MCU canon or storylines. Just fucking put it out.
The one thought that crossed my mind, kind of sad, was because I know they have T'Challa, and I was like, did they get
Yes.
Chadwick Boseman in
That's
time?
his last role as Black Panther. Will be in What If. Yes.
That'll be odd watching that.
It will be
And we
tough.
finally found out how to pronounce Shang-Chi.
Is that how you say it? He said Shang-Chi.
He said she, not chi.
So the next thing he talked about was the Shang-Chi movie wrap production in Australia. He talked about how awesome Simu Liu is in the cast. This will be coming out July 9, 2021, and that was really it. Then he moved on to Miss Marvel.
Also another date that's
July 9th. Yeah.
We'll
Anything
see.
in the summer. I think a lot of these may still get pushed back. I don't know, but then you got to push everything back.
What do you think? If it gets warm out, then all of a sudden people are going to be outside again and not spreading it as much, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we thought that last time.
Yeah, it didn't happen last time.
Well, you went to the movies in the summer.
I was the only one there.
Yeah. Well,
I was one of one.
Oh, shit.
So we'll see what happens.
that's how you watch movies now in 2020. Then he mentioned Miss Marvel, which will be coming out later next year on Disney Plus. There was a little featurette with some clips of her, a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of clips of when she got cast. She still looks really, really young. I'm curious as to what age she's supposed to be.
You know what? This actually was. It was
better.
It was better
Yeah.
because you actually saw like a little bit of her personality,
Yes.
and it that helps.
Yes, it was.
You're like, oh, she's kind of like she's kind of like a sweet person.
Yeah,
I
like
kind of like her.
the girl next door.
She does look like she's like 5, though.
She looks
really
so
does look
young,
like-
but it was better than the set photos.
First off, again, I mean, what's gotten into Rug Boy saying positive things
What
about
the
everything?
fuck is going on?
Number two, I also
the fuck
agree. The
outta
clips,
here.
I was like, I'm hyped. I could see this little girl doing it. This is awesome.
So
I can't wait to see her in her own show.
Here we go.
In the movies.
Yes, here we go. Here now, everything is connecting. Things are getting bigger. After
Well, also one thing on the little girl is like they don't have very many little girls in the Marvel universe, right? So it's like, whoa, this is cool. This will be a different flavor.
Especially not very many Pakistani Muslim, with immigrant parent teenage girls.
Not even mentioning throwing that in.
Yeah.
Just the fact that she was just a little girl.
Yeah, that all these girls are going to look up to Miss Marvel and looking up to Captain Marvel.
So will you.
I'm Miss Marvel. Boo.
And she's going to be in Captain Marvel.
That's the next thing. Kevin Feige moves on to Captain Marvel 2. It is in the works, and he announced that Iman Vellani will be co-starring. He used the words co-starring in Captain Marvel 2. Also in Captain Marvel 2, Teyonah Parris playing Monica Rambeau, who we will have met by then in WandaVision. So, like, all the shit is now wrapping together. That's fucking dope. Then he mentioned Eternals, and then that was it. He's like, Eternals, it's coming out. Here's the cast.
Well, potentially I'll mention potentially a directed by the person that might have made the movie of the year in Nomadland, Chloe Zhao. So
Chloe Zhao directing Eternals. That's right. Nomadland about the RV and Frances McDormand. Then he moved on to the Hawkeye TV series, which he said will come out late next year on Disney Plus. Now there's been set photos of the show. They started shooting it. I've seen him. You see Haley Steinfeld. You see the dog, and he confirmed Haley Steinfeld is indeed playing Kate Bishop.
Geek boner.
Some of the shots.
I liked her in
Bumblebee. She's great, dude. She's nice to look
and
at.
I think they
and she can
confirmed
act.
too that this is in between that 5-year jump. Right? Like it's like year 2 or 3.
I thought I read somewhere that it's 5 years later after Endgame.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misread
So
something.
the other thing that's interesting, looking at the set photos, Jeremy Renner has an earpiece. They have a dog. They were shooting in the subway. This is straight up the setup from that Matt Fraction Hawkeye series, where that's Pizza Dog. There's one episode of the comic book told from the point of view of the dog, and it's fucking the best episode.
Oh, shit.
Just told in drawings and iconography. Issue. It's a issue of a comic book told from the point of view of Pizza Dog. So great, but it's a
He
great
doesn't
series.
read comics. Get him out of here.
Yeah, no, anybody can read comics. They're for everybody.
You can't.
I can't read, but
Clearly.
that's different. So Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld confirmed. Then he moved on to She-Hulk. Also confirmed She-Hulk will be played by Tatiana Maslany, as reported. Tim Roth is returning as
That's
Abomination.
awesome news.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
awesome.
that's probably
that
the best.
character. Awesome.
Tim Roth is great. Mark Ruffalo will be in it also, and he's like, she's a lawyer, so who knows who else can show up?
Love that Tim Roth.
Fucking
is back.
Tim Roth as Abomination is dope.
Yeah.
That was such a genius move.
Can you imagine? Yeah, that'll be great. Does he still have the powers? Does he still turn into Abomination?
Does he have the fins on the ears?
It was a waste, to only use that character once and to like just sideline.
Yeah,
him.
And it was an early
really
movie. It didn't work. Everything got fucked up, but they brought back General Ross from that movie, so now they're bringing back Tim Roth. And then he mentioned Moon Knight. He said it's going to be an action adventure, Indiana Jones type. He said multiple personalities, Egyptology. That was about it. No more information. Then he's like, here's new shit we have not announced anywhere.
Geek boner.
Right? Secret Invasion TV series for Disney Plus. Sam Jackson as Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn as Telos returning.
Wow.
We're getting a show about Skrulls and Skrulls on Disney Plus. That's wild. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, Secret Invasion. And a lot of these were rumors we mentioned last week. These are coming true. Ironheart series, Riri Williams, played by Dominique Thorne as new Iron Man.
I have to look up who Dominique Thorne is.
She's, she looks like Riri Williams.
Do a lot of people know what Riri Williams looks
is
like?
a teenage black girl scientist who's very smart, and she dons her an Iron Man type suit, but she goes by the name Ironheart, like a Care Bear. She's the Care Bear.
Okay.
Next TV show, Armor Wars. Don Cheadle
How are
returning.
they going to do this without Iron Man? You can't do this without Iron Man.
Wars?
Armor Wars.
What is Armor Wars? Don Cheadle returning as War Machine for this.
It's what if the machines go bad, basically.
So,
if the tech goes,
that's
sideways.
right. That's right.
Yeah, when Tony Stark created Iron Man, this was in the 80s. It was a whole run of like his armor fell into the wrong hands, and like all of these different people had kind of a version of an Iron Man armor, and Tony Stark had to go kick all of their asses and take the armor back.
It's like the Spider Island of Iron Man.
Yeah.
So
I think they could do it if, like, because he's dead, maybe someone was able to hack the codes because he's not consistently updating it, and now
so it's going to be Don
Cheadle feels like obligated to clean up the mess.
It's going to be his show. Yeah, he's going to have to.
I think it's just more or less they're like, damn, we gave Cap's black sidekick a show, and Don Cheadle's never gotten any love. Let's get him a show.
Don Cheadle's like, what about me, man? Come on, give me a TV show. You're
Tony Stank.
Tony Stank. They're literally giving everybody a TV show.
Everyone.
I want your head up when I throw my fist in the air.
Remember that. And then he's mentioned the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're doing a holiday special. James Gunn writing and directing. They're going to shoot this during Guardians of the Galaxy 3 production. And there will be some Baby Groot animated shorts on Disney Plus. Now, in the movies,
more stuff.
More stuff. Kevin Feige said in January we are shooting Thor: Love and Thunder with the villain played by Christian Bale as Thor the God Butcher.
Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
Oh, Gore the God Butcher.
Jesus Christ.
I spelled that wrong. I read that comic, though. That was the Jason Aaron
I read that
God
comic.
Butcher. Christian Bale. And then this is also Jane Foster becoming Thor and all that other shit.
That storyline, Gore the God Butcher, was Gore hunting Thors across different timelines and killing
and it
all
was
of
great. Remember, they had the young Thor and then like middle-aged Thor and old Thor, and they all had
is Christian Bale going to have like that mask on and the big lobe, like ears or whatever, those floppy
I don't know. He was like a demon-looking thing with a big sword.
Christian Bale, I mean, kind of looks like a demon if he like shaves his beard, but
then
not like that.
Guardians are in this too. You got Peter Quill.
This guy has no nose. He's got the Voldemort nose.
Do you think Christian Bale will method act so hard that he will cut off his own nose?
He might. He might actually do that. He's like, I'm going to be Gore. I'm going to do it for real. I'm going to be Gore. So that's exciting. Then he mentioned Blade with Mahershala Ali is coming. That was it. He's like, Blade, coming.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man 3 is called Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania is the name of the movie.
That's kind of a lame title.
Everybody returning from the second movie, including Cassie, an older Cassie Lang. And
Cassie's recast.
Yes, she's a different person.
No, it's a different actress from
actress.
even Endgame.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, Catherine Newton, I believe.
It was Langford. It was a different Catherine. It was Catherine Langford before.
Yeah, this one is Catherine Newton. So,
and as we discussed, Jonathan Majors as King the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania.
Supposedly the next big Avengers baddie. So interesting that they're putting him in Ant-Man.
I know. I'm looking forward to Kang, time-traveling Kang's adventures. And then Kevin Feige did a little Chadwick Boseman tribute. Of course, he had to talk about Boseman, who we lost earlier this year, 43. And he said, we will not be recasting Black Panther.
Oh, shit.
He said that pretty explicitly. He said Ryan Coogler is working on it now for July 8th, 2022 release. Thoughts? Not recast.
Well, what's kind of weird is the girl who played Chadwick Boseman's sister. What's her name? I forgot. Her name.
Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright.
Yeah.
She's in trouble on Twitter.
Yeah, so she might not be able to be the next Black Panther.
They want her not to be the next Black Panther.
Yeah, there's a big
because she's an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, there's a kerfuffle there.
Twitter. Don't do over. Don't listen
she
to
deleted
Twitter,
her
please.
account too because she was getting harassed. But it could be problematic, or people will forget. Probably by then, we'll see. And then the last biggest thing, he's like, "Oh, one more thing, everyone. We're doing Fantastic Four. John Watts is directing."
Oh shit! Geek boner.
So holy shit, we were waiting for a Fox property to show up. Was it going to be X-Men? Was it going to be FF? And here it is. John Watts of Spider-Man, Homecoming, and the second movie, Fame. That's good. I don't know.
I feel like I feel like John Watts has just been okay as Spider-Man director, but I think Marvel Studios likes him so much.
Well, they can mold him and
technically,
shit.
those Marvel Studios films are also Sony. I think they wanted to lock him into another Marvel property,
and not a Sony shared property.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Where they could still keep him in house.
I mean, I think he'll do fine. He can be molded. They have a style. The script's got to be good. Ruggs, Geek Boner, Floppy Jock for Fantastic Four.
For Fantastic Four, he's fine. I mean, the Homecoming movies are in the same ballpark as a Spider-Man, so it's kind of like, not too serious, not too scary, not too
family
jarring.
friendly.
It's kind of like vanilla. So,
not too hot, not too cold, just right.
Just right.
Oh. And
this porridge is just right.
That was it for the Marvel announcements.
Let's take a breath and just recap.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, they're blowing this shit.
What are you
out of
most psyched about?
Fuck, I don't even know.
I just remember seeing that the Winter Soldier, the Winter Soldier,
Falcon and Winter Soldier show looks amazing.
That is the first thing that stood out. Like, oh, I can't wait for fucking that to happen.
I guess the trailers, like the WandaVision and like you mentioned, Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier, anything with a trailer got me pumped up.
Like, I have no feeling for Eternals. None.
I wish they would show us something from Eternals, because me neither. Like, I don't know what to expect. I'm kind of
like cool with the Hawkeye, She-Hulk, Moon Knight stuff. That's kind of interesting to me. And I'm scratching my head about Armor Wars. Secret Invasion, that sounds like interesting. But, the clear winner, I think, for me, is the Falcon Winter Soldier.
I would say the clear floppy jock for me is the Baby Groot for the Guardians holiday special.
The holiday special.
Yeah. I don't want to say it because I always shit on James Gunn. I'm glad someone else is doing it.
It's just meaningless stuff. But overall, I was just like, whoa, I'm pumped again for Marvel. And the other thought I had was, man, this is like, it's going to be tough for like the casual fan to follow all this stuff now and how this is going to weave in and out.
You have to get both. You have to sign up for Disney
someone
Plus.
like me, I'm like, great. Like I want to be able to weave in and out of, like, especially with the way the excitement that Ruggs has had over Mando. I'm like, I want to have that same feeling of like TV shows weaving into other stuff and movies and all that. So like, I'm into it.
That's interesting because like they're doing a Marvel with the Star Wars, and they're doing kind of a Star Wars with the Marvel. And they're working the same angles.
Think about this, okay? We have so many different avenues, right, of shows coming out, completely all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
There is a potential that some of these may spin off into other shows.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they might bring on a character that we weren't even expecting to show up, and then that could all of a sudden catch, basically like a comic book. You know what I mean?
Do you have to read the comics to be able to sit at the table for these shows?
Not for the bar of entry is low for TV, right? You don't have to do shit, so it's great for everyone.
You know what Stan would say if he saw all this?
Excelsior! fucking fantastic.
That's
Well, it does seem like the Disney Plus, their strategy is to take these smaller things or characters that like had a more of a sideline role in the movies and give them their own stuff. Like it seems like they have two strategies, right? Like there's the sidelined characters that get their own thing in the movie, in the TV shows, and then there's like the experimental characters that maybe could pop off into movies.
Yeah.
So they're like weaving between both of those.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
They did it in comic books. They're going to try it with TV now. All of this is being built on shared universe that comic has established for years.
Yeah.
So now they're going to try and take what comic books do and do it with the TV shows and possibly movies. They've already done it with movies, but it's different because they can't move as quickly as with TV. Like when you make a movie, you make the movie and then that's it. When you make a show, you can course correct. Next season, you have a chance or whatever, or mid-season, you could even make a change. So,
also with the TV show, you can, because of the length of episodes, potentially, you can maybe even rip from the comics a little more closely and follow that path rather than having to condense something or take something out.
You can flesh stuff out, do it episodically.
Yeah, that's also true.
out.
They can decompress it and kind of actually explore.
But, Marvel needed this. They needed this fucking buzz. They needed something right now where, because everybody else was kind of taking the buzz, and I'm glad. This is amazing. Disney always fucking delivers. So I'm excited for all of it, but I would, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Thor sounds amazing. Fantastic Four, fuck. Hawkeye, all of it. I love all of it.
I mean, even like, it didn't get a ton of hype today, but Blade with Mahershala
That's going to be so
that's
dope.
Gonna be awesome.
Oh my God, it's going to be so good.
Geek boner.
I can't wait to see that. So, start putting them out, though, Marvel. We have to wait till May.
All I ask, and it seems like they're going in this direction with some of these trailers, is I ask that they start to like divvy up how things feel and look in terms of like different movies and TV shows. Like, it doesn't always have to look like this the way the MCU has looked for these past three phases.
Well, don't you think these three trailers, like, they all look like
that's what I'm saying.
They look like different
They look
shows.
different.
Yeah, it's amazing. They look like different shows.
It does, but it doesn't have to always have that cookie cutter Marvel MCU look that it's kind of had for a while.
And again, TV gives you the room to experiment with that and try things out and just have a blast. So other tidbits and some more content news from Investor Day. You mentioned, Anthony, 86 million subscriptions for Disney Plus. They said by 2024, so what's that, 3 years, they expect between 230 and 260 million subscriptions.
So they're going global, right?
Shit. I guess, but that's a high fucking estimate.
Do we know what Netflix has?
Well, Netflix is like 170, maybe 170, 180, probably.
I also read something that HBO Max was like real low, like 10 million or 15 million.
They have. That's too bad. There's a lot of good stuff on there, but they're going to get more now with the moves they're making.
Right.
The price for Disney Plus. Here we go. This was expected in the U.S. will go up $1 per month. It's now $7.99 in March. In Europe, it will go up by €2 due to the addition of Star. So they were talking about this other platform, Star, that like is in India and it's international and it's like a big platform they're bundling. There was different bundle prices also, but
it's for like the adult content or like anything over PG-13.
Yes, like they're the international version of not Disney Plus, but it's going up. So Disney Plus, just like Netflix has done. They're already 1 year in. We're like, it's going to be another $1. But they are increasing their content expense, they said, between $8 and $9 billion by 2024.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, what COVID has done is basically made them go, good thing
put everything in here. Yes.
We should invest even more in this. Like theaters we don't know what it's going to look like. It's kind of unpredictable. Like they shut down their radio. Like everything is like Disney Plus, pushed everything to Disney Plus. We gotta blow this thing out of the water.
They're still saving theatrical releases though, and they mentioned that. So but like I said earlier, over the 100 titles they announced today, 80% for Disney Plus. So let's not forget they also own Hulu and FX. A couple of tidbits about Hulu series is Why the Last Man, that Brian K. Vaughan comic book, is finally going to get made and come out on Hulu, FX, I think. They mentioned an Alien series,
Geek boner,
live action series officially on the way to FX with Noah Hawley, who created Legion and Fargo, serving as creator and showrunner, and Ridley Scott serving as executive producer on the Alien TV series. Anthony, Geek Boner, Floppy Jock, Alien TV show.
You know, I'm gonna have like a slight curve in my penis and go
half and half.
Geek chub.
Yes.
I've always liked Alien. I think Ruggs and you can speak more to what Ridley Scott's been doing on TV. But
Raised by Wolves and Noah Hawley.
I hear Noah Hawley's really
amazing.
Good.
He is very good. Ruggs, you watch Fargo. I watched Legion.
What about that show that Ridley Scott did for Apple Plus or whatever?
Well, he only directed the first 2 episodes, and those are amazing.
And then produced
Wasn't he a producer?
He produced it.
He's producing it. Yeah,
great.
he produces it.
Yeah.
He's not directing it anymore. But Raised by Wolves is very interesting. Its production value is great. Nothing wrong with any of that. It's just some of it's meandering a little bit, but I think hopefully they'll pick it up in the next season. But it could be interesting. I mean, I feel like Raised by Wolves is actually
kind of like Aliens. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Noah Hawley doing Aliens, the Alien IP should be very interesting.
It needs a boost. Yeah. The Alien IP has been
dead. That and Predator,
rough times,
and Terminator. All those IPs we loved.
I feel like that. I just really feel like the Alien is hard to get right.
Yeah.
It's really, really difficult.
I don't know what you could do. Be interesting.
Like if you're not making the movie that they already made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
what do you tell? Yeah. What is the story? What are you telling? We've already been everywhere. They announced Anthony.
Is that for FX or Hulu?
FX/Hulu. Yeah, it'll be Hulu. So
we'll have it.
Yeah.
We still. By the way, I was going to ask. We still have a year's worth of Disney Plus, or how long are we at?
I think. I don't know.
We're going to need to re-up.
Oh, we'll re-up definitely. I am. Okay. Oh, today's the day I have to cancel the DC universe because it's officially dead. But if I don't cancel, they'll renew for just the comics. But I'm done. We're done. DC Universe is done.
Sorry, DC.
Quibi's
it's all on HBO Max.
Yeah,
anyways,
it's all on
right?
HBO Max. DC Universe stuff. Quibi is done. All that shit is done. Anthony, they also announced for Disney Plus the Mighty Ducks Game Changer TV show.
Fuck yeah.
We'll pick the story back up.
Hell yeah. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's really good.
So this could be
love the Mighty Ducks.
This could be like a Cobra Kai for the Mighty Ducks,
Fuck yeah.
Picks the story back
I think
up.
Emilio Estevez is going to be back.
He's in it. I think he was in the clip they showed, so he was talking about
it.
Live action movie adaptations they're working on: Jungle Cruise, a Lion King prequel, The Little Mermaid that has new songs by Alan Menken, Lin-Manuel Miranda, live action Pinocchio from Robert Zemeckis starring Tom Hanks. That will be
Robert Zemeckis back with Tom Hanks.
With Tom Hanks on Disney Plus doing live action Pinocchio. Yeah.
Run, Pinocchio, run. Grow, Pinocchio, grow.
On the Pixar side of things, of course, Soul is coming out this Christmas on Disney Plus. They showed the first few minutes of it.
Apparently on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's like at 100%.
Oh, shit.
Looks great.
It looks gorgeous. The clip looked great, and it looks beautiful.
Might be an Oscar candidate, too, because I'm, big Oscar guy.
The dog from the movie Up, Doug, gets a series. It's called Doug Days, and it's following Doug, who now lives with Carl, from the movie Up. And it looks just like Up. So whatever that's worth. There's a new Cars series. They're doing their first original long-form animated series called Win or Lose about a co-ed softball team. In terms of movies, Pixar has a movie called Luca coming out, which is like a love letter to Italy. It looked really pretty. There's a movie called Turning Red, which is about a 13-year-old who turns into a giant red panda when she gets angry.
Floppy job.
And then
Floppy job.
This movie called Lightyear, which is the origin story of the original Buzz Lightyear, the actual dude the toy is based off of in the Toy Story universe, and he will be voiced by Chris Evans, Captain America himself. And there's a bunch of other shit.
I found that an odd choice, but yeah.
Yeah, they take him over here. He would work as the Buzz Lightyear instead of Tim Allen. Tim Allen is like
it's about the inspiration for the toy.
The actual dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just feel like it's weird.
Oh, yeah, it's weird, but it's also kind of funny they're keeping Chris Evans in house.
Right.
Yeah, I think he even had a post where he's like, they stole me from Marvel or something
they're
like that.
We don't want to get Feige mad. But there's other stuff you can look up. That's all we're going to cover.
Tons of other
Overall,
stuff.
I enjoyed watching the presentation. It was very polished. There was a funny bit where Homer and The Simpsons came on. It was animated, and he was talking about, he was making fun of the live-action adaptations. He's like, I saw this movie, Aladdin, when it was an animated movie called Disney's Aladdin. They just ripped it off. And like Baby Yoda's there. That was cute. But it was a 4-hour and after the Marvel stuff, they did Q&A with investors, and there was like a panel of 3 people, and they were taking questions via Zoom from investors. So very thorough, and I'm just glad they let us watch this. This is
It would
what
be
they
great
needed.
if one of the investors was just like a Saudi prince.
He's sitting
He's
there.
just like stroking his beard, going, like asking questions.
He's got like a hookah there. He's like
There's
smoking a
like,
hookah.
there's like video of him like being involved. I'm not even going to say it.
He's asking questions like, when can we expect the diamond shipment when the movie releases?
What's interesting is their stock, jumped up.
Fuck, I can't imagine.
So much. They're up to they jumped up like 20% since they started
This is
that.
a Disney hot beef injection right into pop culture. This is going to carry him. So the one thing, fellas, they did not mention that I was very upset that I got to mention is before I redid all the show notes, before this came out, news stories breaking left and right about the rumors about Spider-Man 3. And apparently everyone's in this movie. I'm in this movie. Rug Boy's in this movie. Everybody's in this movie.
Now, if you were in the movie, that'd be bad.
There's so we're gonna go through all the confirmed and reported, but no actual confirmation from Marvel, from Sony. But they're saying these people are confirmed to appear. Here we go. Get your geek boner ready. Confirmed to appear Spider-Man 3, Andrew Garfield, of course, Jamie Foxx, of course, Kirsten Dunst, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange come back, Alfred Molina, of course, Tom Holland, Zendaya, supporting cast, Jacob Batalon, Tony Revolori, Angourie Rice, Marissa Tomei, and then reports, I saw rumors, Emma Stone, Tom Hardy, maybe Venom, Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Charlie Cox, I was like, whoa, what the?
Possibly both Green Goblins, William Dafoe, Dane DeHaan, rumored. What the fuck is going on? And then Nickelback's going to do the song, I heard. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that one.
Oh, my God.
Don't do that one.
And they say that a hero
Is this
save us.
So here's my question.
Look at this photograph.
Look at this Instagram. Side of bacon and
Charlie
ham.
Cox, if they do that, then not only are they making the Sam Raimi and the Mark Webb canon, but they're making the Netflix stuff canon.
So I believe like 2 weeks ago, the Daredevil contract was up, finally. The one where after the show ended, he had to wait 2 years. Netflix made them wait 2 years before doing anything. That's over. So
okay.
he's free.
I thought you meant he could be in the movie, but he couldn't play Daredevil, which would be a complete waste.
No, he couldn't. They couldn't use him as Daredevil for 2 years after that show ended. And the 2 years is up, so they can use him. But he would
have to change the costume.
Peter Parker would need a lawyer after the end of, Far From Home. So that makes sense. Here's my question. Of course, Geek Boner. I love this. I want to see a live action Spider-Verse. Is this a little too much, though? Like, this would have to be like a fucking 4-hour movie.
It's got to be like a dumb cameo.
Some of these have to be really quick cameos. You can't do all of this.
I posted on our someone brought up this point, and I countered with, although it does seem like too much, and that's what ruined Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
The fact that this is under Fahey,
yeah.
And we had two movies called Endgame and Infinity War, which had more
40,
characters.
With everyone, with 40
and those
superheroes.
movies were still big hits, and they pulled off. I think in these hands, I think this is freaking awesome, and I think that they might be able to pull this off.
If anyone can pull this off, it's Feige. But Feige also had the help of the Russo brothers, and all of their movies, they handled 12 characters, 30 characters, 40 characters. This one, you got John Watts. I don't know. But I'm still excited to see all these people. Also,
what do you think, Ruggs? Are you into having all these Spider-Man, or are you still like the fact that they have to have these in?
Fuck that show.
That Tom Holland
I feel
sucks?
like this is how I feel like it's going to work. When we pop into a lot of these realities, these Spider-Men are going to be fighting their foes.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe when they're talking about, so let's say we pop into Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. He's fighting somebody that, whatever.
Electro, let's go with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, yeah. And then all of a sudden, he gets pulled into the other reality with Tom Holland. And then they might have like a dialogue, and then maybe they'll flash back to another scene, and that'll be it. And then there'll be some other main bad guy. So I think they're going to be the bad guys are going to be mostly cameos. And I think that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be like the main. They're going to have the main bulk of the screen time, and all these other things are going to be like quick flashes of possible.
They're going to have the Mary Janes and the Gwen Stacy's come over, one villain from each movie come over, and you almost have the Sinister Six here. You got a Doc Ock and Shocker and Vulture and Scorpion and Mysterio. You can set that up too while you're at it. I don't know if
Prowler, you can get him in there.
I don't know if it's too many things.
I could see them doing a thing where they like have the heroes team up, but then also have the girls team up, like Zendaya, Kirsten Dunst, and Emma Stone.
Yeah, maybe a Spider-Gwen fucking Easter egg or something. The other
I think it's gonna be bonkers.
It's gonna be crazy, and like you said, if Feige is the only one that can pull this off, the other thing that occurred to me is because of social media and the way things are now. Imagine if we didn't know this, and then the movie came out. Oh, shit. I would fucking die. My head would explode. I would lose my shit.
That's what one of my buddies pointed out. Is the internet's kind of like ruined some of these surprises.
Yeah,
all of this.
We wouldn't have a podcast anymore because Imran would rocket out into space.
My body would explode.
It would just launch.
My arm, my limbs.
He would just like a rocket would shoot out of his ass.
Flame coming out of my ass.
Pure like unadulterated joy that he's been pent up his whole entire 40 whatever years of his life.
So maybe it's
would just shoot out of his anus.
Maybe it's a good thing this is.
I'm surprised you were able to hold it together for watching that first Spider-Man ever in the Sam Raimi one in the theater.
Fuck, dude, I was so ready for that, and I knew everything about it coming into it. Like I read the book, I read the novel. I was like, I know everything. Let's do this. I don't remember, but I remember I was fucking flying. Maybe it's good that this got spoiled because it would probably kill me if I just watched the movie and all these people showed up. I would die. So good stuff.
I'm most excited. The names out of there I'm most excited for was the Charlie Cox if that happens.
Yeah.
Just because I love his version of Daredevil. I don't love the suit, but I loved it. Out of all the Netflix stuff, Daredevil for me was actually like legit good.
He deserves a shot. He deserves a shot.
To see him get a shot in the MCU would be great.
Absolutely. He's a fucking great Matt Murdock.
You don't need to recast Daredevil. You have the guy.
Yeah. Nailed it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you don't need, and maybe, who knows, Vincent D'Onofrio, like, come on.
Bring the Kingpin. That was the other thing. Might as well just bring the King. I know he wants in, and he's been like tweeting and stuff, but fucking he's movie level
You're
2.
making that man gain all that weight. Bring him in.
Fucking give me that. He's the best Kingpin. Do
you think you could play Kingpin if Vincent D'Onofrio were to pass?
I would need a fat suit. I'm not that big. I just put a little padding on. I'll put a pillow underneath. I'll look like
you're pretty white.
I'm white enough. If I
shave
my
head, you could probably pull off
the
tuxedo without actually wearing the clothes.
If I take off my clothes, I just look like that bad guy.
You look like the fucking Kingpin, shirtless.
I got bitch tits like the Kingpin. That's for sure.
You need an ascot.
And a white suit.
Get the man an ascot.
All right, let's do some news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
You guys, we were recognized as
somebody knows we exist.
Yeah, as assholes. No, we were not recognized. We were recognized by Homeland Security, and now there's a white van in front of my house. Is there one outside of your houses too?
There's always a white van out
unmarked.
There.
I don't know what.
You've been watching me for a long time.
I thought so. No, we were recognized from this. It's an independent podcast network called Indie Pods United. There's a Facebook group. It's a bunch of awesome independent podcasts. They ran a virtual summit. It was the Indie Pods United Summit. And before this happened, Gerald Glassford, who does the show Pop Culture Cosmos, and he does the Lakers Fast Break. This dude's a beast. He does like 3 shows, and he puts out like 3 episodes a week. He sent me a message saying, you guys have been nominated as one of the top podcasts of independent podcasts of 2020. I was like, oh, cool. So they did this whole virtual stream. I tried to watch some of it. I couldn't. I was busy, but then I got the recording and I watched it afterwards. Turns out, and Gerald nominated us, and turns out we were recognized as one of the top 25 podcasts of 2020 by the Indie Pods United group. Top 25 independent podcasts. Yay. Talking nerd.
Yay. Were there 26 candidates?
There was no.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, so I watched so Gerald did the whole presentation. He nominated us. So first of all, Joe, he listens Thank you for nominating us. There was 50 podcasts, and they broke it down to 25, and we got into the top 25. Also, Tina Marie Trimpert is who runs Indie Pods United, and they sent us a little certificate, which I'm going to print and frame and put on the wall. But
yes,
listen, Gerald is again really nice guy.
It's a major award.
He's a beast. Thank you, Indie Pods United, for this recognition. I guess
he's a beast. Why'd you go with that?
He's a beast in terms of podcasting. This dude is everywhere. He arranged the whole the awards ceremony and hosted the thing. It was like
Then he flipped a coin. He was like, Jock and Nerd,
Jock
in
and
or out?
Nerd gets it. Yay.
Oh, fuck. I wanted them to be out, but they're in.
Gerald, thank you for saying all those nice things. He did say nice things about our show. And
like what?
He just said they're really fun guys. They cover pop culture news. Great. The comedy is great. Fun to hang out with. He does a pop culture show also. We'll have to have him on. I was on his show
Does he
once.
like our sound effects?
This is his favorite. Yes. I will have to have him on because I was on his show.
Oh, okay.
The fuck's going on here?
I don't know, Stanley. I honestly don't know.
Calm down, Stan.
I want your head up when I throw my fist in the air.
Yeah, make sure you
put it in my Slack.
Make sure you see him. There's a little recognition is always appreciated.
Oh, I feel very warm and tingly inside my Slack.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. That's it, gang. We've come to the end. Ruggs, where can the listener find you?
You can find me on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy. You just missed like a fucking doozy. I'm going to be resting for a few weeks and stretching out, limbering up for my next assault on somebody from comics culture.
It's a lot of fun to watch, listener. He blocks Heather Antos, then he unblocks her, then he blocks her again. He just doesn't know.
Then he invites her on the show, and he doesn't, and then she invites him herself
you
on the
know
show.
what?
It's hilarious.
The thing is that there was this period of time. See, like people that I don't follow her, right?
Yeah.
But people that I follow, like repost or retweet her.
Yeah. So you see
I was just like every few minutes she would say something. You know how I said something incendiary on her thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she says incendiary things all the time. And I'm like, oh, I have to react to this. But then I'm like, no. And so I blocked her, just not because I want to block her. I'm to protect myself because I can't help, can't help myself.
Protect me from me.
Yeah, I can't help myself. I'm like, oh, I got one. I got a good comment.
Can't just hold it back. I could see Ruggs holding his hand back like in Army of Darkness, and Bruce Campbell is reaching for his phone. He's pulling it back.
Yeah, because
got a mind
all
of
it
its
is
own.
It's a vicious circle of stupidity.
At ReallyRugBoy on Twitter, and you can follow us on Twitter at Jock and Nerdcast. Visit the show notes for this episode, listenerjockandnerd.com/359 for links to all the bullshit we talked about, how to get in touch, how to stay subscribed, how to support, share the show, tell a friend. We'd appreciate it. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the Nerd.
We'll catch you next time.
Give me some of that soundboard.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
Oh, that's an old one.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Oh, that's great.
Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
Jock and Nerd.